Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film family, and welcome back to the Film Room Podcast. My name is Dean, and I'm here with my boy Scott. Say what's up, Scott.
What's up?
And today's episode, we're talking about the 1988 comedy Coming to America. So I think we talked about this last time, like when we texted. I don't actually remember. I didn't scroll back through, but was this your first time watching it? And was this like your first time like seeing like 80s, 90s Eddie, if it was?
Yeah, it was my first time watching, and I think so. I mean, no, well, when was the Nutty Professor and the
Dr. Dolittle?
Yeah.
You see Dr. Okay, so that's like late 90s. Have you ever seen 80s? You ever seen 80s Eddie?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen some of his stand-up. I don't know. Again, I don't know what years those were, but like I've seen some old Eddie. But I think this is definitely the oldest movie that I've seen him in. And yeah, he was funny. I love Eddie Murphy. He's super funny.
Oh, yeah, no.
But this was actually more of like a romantic comedy that I expected, to be honest.
No, same. Yeah, no, I didn't expect well, I knew what it was about. For some reason, I didn't think it was going to be as much of a love interest kind of movie. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, same. I was like, because it was Eddie Murphy, I was like, okay, comedy. And it was comedy. It was funny. There was a lot of actually funny parts. But yeah, all like the bulk of the plot is it's him trying to get Lisa, right? So it's all the romance involved there and their relationship. But I wasn't expecting that.
No, me neither. And like you were alluding to, like I was talking about this with my sister, and I was like, it was in that moment where I realized, I was like, yeah, like growing up, like I was a big Eddie fan too, and I thought he was funny, but like obviously just based off our age, I felt like we got more of like 2000s Eddie, you know, like Shrek, and like I don't know if you've seen like Daddy Daycare and like Norbit and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen those? I'm assuming you've seen those ones, right?
Yeah, and those are, I mean, not in Daddy Daycare or Shrek, but like a lot of his more original movies, like when he's playing all sorts of different characters, like in the Nutty Professor as well. Like he plays 5 or 6 different people, and in this movie he plays 4 different people.
Yeah,
and I actually read this was the first time that he actually did it, but
yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I mean, when the scenes come on, like in the barbershop, like with those. Because he plays a couple of those guys, and they're like the singer when they're at that church night thing.
Was it Sexual Chocolate or something like that?
Yeah, Sexual Chocolate, exactly. But I was like, these guys look funny, like they look weird.
Yeah,
and I was like, and then I saw after, I was like, okay, it's him in makeup. That makes more sense. Especially, well, one of them is Arsenio Hall in makeup too, and that guy. I was gonna say that. I was like, yo, he just looks like blackface. Like he has the super big red lips, super dark skin. He's got the gray hair, so it kind of stands out. And it's 1988, so like the makeup and all the prosthetics is not that good. I was this just looks racist.
He kind of looked like Uncle Drew, like the Kyrie Irving character.
Facts.
Oh no, but no, I understand. I agree too. I was like, they look weird, and my first thought was like, okay, I guess they're playing a bunch of characters because it's like the Eddie Murphy thing. And then, like you said, I saw that like later on. I was like, oh, that's actually like this was his first time doing that. I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
But this movie was directed by John Haddis. So I don't know if you've seen any of his movies. I saw a couple of Blue Brothers. I've never seen that one. Trading Places, which another Eddie movie, is the one that they did before this, so their first link up. I've never seen that one either. And there was An American Werewolf in London, which is a movie I actually wanted to watch because I heard someone tell me that the transition of like him turning into a werewolf is like one of the most unique transitions you'll ever see. And I was like, okay,
really?
So I was like, okay, I gotta watch that. Yeah, I've never seen it, but everyone was like, you got to see it. The werewolf transition is crazy. I'm like, okay.
Couldn't you even just look that up on YouTube or something?
I guess, but now I want to watch the movie. I'm curious.
Fair enough. I haven't seen any of those movies, but I've heard of them, and like Trading Places, and like you said, that was an Eddie movie. that they worked on together. But what I did see from John Landis that he did that I have seen is he also did a lot of Michael Jackson music videos.
Oh, okay.
So he did Black or White, and he also did
Oh,
Thriller.
snap.
So one
Oh,
of the
snap.
biggest music videos like of all time.
Okay, yeah. Wow, I
Yeah.
completely scratched that because when I looked at this thing, I just like I filtered off just movies. I didn't even check the
Mhm.
music videos thing. That's a good catch.
He's even done a few TV shows, like a few episodes of different TV shows, and some of the more popular ones too. But yeah, that was what really stood out to me was the MJ videos.
The music videos. That's interesting. Like it seems like it's so common, at least in like the last couple movies we've done of like the directors doing like big music video stuff. I don't feel like that's not a thing as much. Maybe like I don't know if it was like the 80s, 90s, it was like everyone was double dipping. But it's not like you heard that like, oh yeah, Christopher Nolan also did what's it called? Back That Ass Up by you know what I mean?
It's like a mind fuck. Where did the ass come from? Nobody actually knows, and and the ass is from the future, but they had to, time travel to get. Yeah, I feel like it was probably it's like been a shift in like the mindset, maybe like a music video is its own thing, and a movie is its own thing, and a TV like they're all separate. Whereas maybe back in the day it was like a music video was a mini movie. So they all just kind of,
no, that's true.
A director is a director, and that's how they did it. But
no, 100%. Yeah, now you're right. That's completely right. So it's its own medium now, 100%. Like every place that you make a video is its own medium. But at the end of the day, you're still a director. Like someone that directs like a YouTube video, like at the end of the day, you're a director, but they're not going to ask you to come to Hollywood. But
yeah,
if your production's good enough, it could look like a freaking movie.
Yeah. Some YouTube is crazy now, man. There's tons of. I mean, people, they do this and it's just another form of content. And just because anybody can do it, it feels like it has to be low budget and low production quality. But there's all sorts of YouTubers that make like it's just as good as a movie or TV show, like the way it looks and the way it's edited and all that. It's crazy. But I was 100%. Thinking about this the other day, actually.
Yeah.
Just like in general, how great is content?
Oh, yeah.
Like, bro, like TV shows, YouTube videos, movies, music, podcasts, like live streaming. There's like, bro, like when I come home, I'm basically there's something on.
Oh, yeah.
Sports. Like how great is content?
Yeah, you can never get bored.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Social media, like what a time to be alive.
No, it's true. It's like sometimes you can get overwhelmed. Like I don't even know which one to do. It's got like 2 screens going. There's games on. It's like
facts.
Yeah, but anyway, let's get into Coming to America. I'm sorry that everyone's like, yo, talk about the movie already. Okay.
All right. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Mom. So let's start off with the opening. So the movie starts off. We get the opening shot of Zamunda, sorry. And we kind of get like this opening track. It kind of makes you think of like the Lion King type song, like the In the Jungle.
I think it is
like that kind of. Is it that?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, maybe. I mean, this came out before the Lion King too, but it sounds like that.
Well, that's not from the Lion King. It's a song. I don't even know what it's from.
No, I'm like saying. Okay, yeah.
In the jungle. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. But so then we get Prince Rakeem, who's waking up in his bed, and it's his 21st birthday, so we get to see the whole like royal treatment, the royal trumpets, the rose petals, and even the part that made me laugh was when he's talking about like, oh, I'm turned 21, can I use the bathroom by myself? And he just laughs. He's wipers and does a little clap.
Yeah, he claps everything. Clap and the doors open. Clap and the girls come in, dropping the rose petals. Yeah. And he's
did anything specifically pop out to you like in the opening like sequence?
No, I mean honestly, as I was watching it and knowing I was watching for the movie, like right off the jump, I was like, is this guy getting my lazy award just for like
oh yeah
getting out like doing what I mean, like everything's done for him, like absolutely nothing. I was like, is this my lazy award right off the bat? And spoiler alert, it's not.
Okay,
it might be yours. We're gonna find out. But
no, I didn't give it to him. The wipers thing popped me though. That got me. Yeah, that was the first moment that I really laughed in the movie. I was like, this guy's got people wiping for him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, that is wild. But
That's honestly
then
like I
yeah,
feel like that's less. I wouldn't want that.
yeah,
I'd
no,
rather
that's
do it
true.
myself. Like
No,
I
it's
know
true.
where to get and
Yeah.
how the pressure, the right pressure, and you know what I mean. Like I
No,
don't
it's
want
true. The
anybody
awkward
else in
moment.
there.
Yeah, the awkward moment of telling him to go back in. Like, yo, you kind of. It's like, but you mean I think you didn't go hard enough. And we didn't see what those wipers look like, so maybe it's not someone that he wants down there. But hey,
Well, I assume they're pretty much everyone else is women. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah. One thing that made me laugh too was the royal penis is clean, Your Highness spot too, and like shout out to Timothy DeLaGhetto from like Wild 'N Out. I don't know if you remember like the Asian guy from Wild 'N Out.
Yeah.
His closing of every single YouTube video, because I used to watch him back then, was the royal penis is clean, Your Highness. And I had no idea where it was from.
No way.
That's how all his YouTube videos ended. It was like that was said, and I was like, what the heck? I always thought it was his thing. And then as soon as I heard in this movie, I was like, yo, that's where he got it from.
Yeah,
you get copyrighted for that.
Yeah, you must have. I don't know. Your eyes popped out of your head. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, oh, it was the Leo moment. It was the snap and point. I was like, ah.
He said it. He said it.
But anyway, this the next thing we get. It was the breakfast scene with his parents, so at the long table, and Akeem thinks that the whole royal treatment is too much. He tries to tell his dad, so he's not looking forward to the arranged marriage that he's gonna be it's gonna be happening. And then we meet Semi, who is like kind of like his right hand man, and then they leave to go do their workout. So they train with like their sticks, and like he kind of shares his concern to him as like they're working out, practicing their moves, and Simi doesn't really understand his feelings. So then they kind of just move on for there, and we jump right into the wedding. So it's time for the royal marriage, and Akeem meets it. Rakeem, sorry, meets his soon-to-be wife as like the dance number comes through and everything. And Owa sings her like entrance as she's actually looking pretty fly. Like she almost got my fit checked. Like she didn't, spoiler alert, but like that dress and like her coming in as he was like serenading her in, like that shit was killing me.
Yeah, there was, and the whole royal families there and all these, we assume like, dignitaries or high rank people, and there's fits all over this movie. Like, we actually got a plethora of options for you. So I'm excited to hear what your fit check is. And I'll actually mention it now that the movie got an Oscar nom for costume design.
Oh, well deserved.
Yeah,
well
100%.
deserved.
There's tons of crazy fits in this movie, which is sick. But yeah, Oha is destroying that song. He's absolutely murdering it, and everything else is silent too. Like it's not a recording. Like you hear the echo of him in the room.
Yeah,
it's so good. And I just wanted to mention kind of before, like when they were at the long table and he was talking to his parents saying, the road trip is too much. They had a fucking intercom at the table.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like it's so long that they're on the opposite side. That killed me.
No, that was hilarious at the table. Too. Yeah.
And then when they went to their the workout, like him and Semi when they were training, and then he starts going crazy, right? Like he does all these backflips. So we're like, oh shit, he's like that.
Yeah.
But it was so funny that like it would go from a close up shot of Eddie Murphy to and then it would cut to obviously a stunt man like doing backflips and all this shit. But it was so obvious that it made me think of, have you ever seen the Chunky Soup commercial with Michael Jordan and his mom?
Oh yeah. And then his mom goes into
mom. So his mom's like, yeah, you got to eat your soup, Michael. You'll be big and strong like me. And then she goes to dunk, and it's clearly just a dude in a wig. Like it's not even it's not even close. And it's hilarious. But it made me think of that commercial, just like how off it was in the stuntman to Eddie Murphy. It just made me laugh.
No, that's hilarious. I don't know why that kind of comedy always gets me too. Like I even think back to like old like scary movie, like comedy was, they used to do that shit all the time. There's like a dance flick movie where it's like a girl's about to dance and then she starts breakdancing and then it's clearly again just a man in a wig.
Yeah.
Just that shit is just too, I don't know why. Or just like when someone gets punched and the body goes flying, it's just like clearly like a doll in the air or something like that. Yeah. Like those stupid little things are just like, I don't know why. I just love that shit.
Yeah, like they land on the ground and their arm is completely backwards and it's like that, and like not moving, totally ragdoll. It's funny. It gets me too.
And then even though like to go back to the table too, the whole rose petal shit too, where it's just like, whoa, wait, you can't come over here. And then
Yeah, that killed me.
No, that was a good little spot. And then after Akeem, like he wants to talk to her because again, his whole thing with the marriage is that he wants to actually get to know. So he wants to marry someone that he actually knows, and he doesn't know anything about her. So before he's like, yo, hold up, like I want to talk to her. And this part killed me too, where he brings her into the room and he's like, I want to tell me about yourself. She's like, which is pretty wild. She's like, I was raised my whole life just to please you, which is crazy existence considering in the end she just gets pushed to the side. So what was her
Yeah,
what's her
facts.
whole life? What's her whole life for? We never see her again too.
Damn, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, because he ends up with Lisa later. I mean, spoiler alert, but he ends up
Yeah.
with Lisa later. So yeah, where does she go?
I don't know.
Damn,
But
that's tough.
this part killed me just because again she's like, oh, so what do you like? And she's just like, whatever you like. She's on her TI shit, like just everything, like whatever favorite food, whatever you like. After the third time, it just started to kill me. I was like,
Yeah.
get you to fucking bark like a dog.
Yeah, I was gonna
And-
say that's what he starts like. He's like, okay, how far can I actually go like this? Like he bark like a dog, jump up and down. And when he tells her to bark like a dog and she does it, he actually like he breaks the fourth wall and he looks at the camera and he's like, y'all seeing this
I
shit?
didn't even
Like,
realize that. I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that one.
Yeah,
I
he looks
noticed
at the
I noticed one
camera.
later, but I didn't notice that one.
mhm.
I think they did it a couple times, the fourth wall break.
What was the second one? I can't think of it.
The other one I noticed was the Daryl one later on. I'll mention it when we get there.
Okay,
It was a
okay,
spot
okay.
that I liked. But I think there was another one too, but I can't remember. But it's funny whenever they do that shit too.
Yeah.
It's like those specific like kind of slapstick usually movies that you get there. That's why I didn't expect to see it in this, because not specifically that kind of movie. But no, that shit was killing me.
Yeah, same.
And then like his pops in the room and sees like, oh, you guys are getting along, as he like, sees her hopping, and she's a gorilla. She's oh and just jumping on one foot. And he's like, oh, and then he voices his concern, saying that like he feels like he wants to experience life more and he wants to travel the world. And his dad just thinks he wants to get freaky in the States. So he's like, oh, you want to plant your seed? Yeah, you should do that. Go do all your desires. Go for it. And,
Yeah, the beginning of this movie didn't age very well. Like like you said, the woman that was raised to just serve him.
oh yeah,
And then you want to go meet a nice girl and actually, marry someone that I love. And his dad just like doesn't even understand it.
No.
He's just like, oh, you just want to go and party and get crazy in New York? Yeah, let's do it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
exactly. And so him and Semi try to flip a coin, and they pick New York, and then they were like, oh, which is the place in New York? And they see a place called Queens. So like, oh, it's a perfect place to find a queen. So then they're off to Queens. And then they get to the airport, and this part was funny too, because we got to make sure we keep a low profile as they're going through the airport. They have all their luggages. Everyone's just staring at them.
Yeah, they got like 5 people dragging all their bags, and they have these crazy fits on.
Yeah, exactly.
They have like
Still
4
iced
jackets.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He even has doesn't he even have his crown on?
I don't know. I think he just has like a regular hat. I don't think. Maybe he does. I can't remember actually.
Yeah,
Does
I
he
don't
have his
remember
crown on?
either. I feel like he might, but I
He
could be
might.
wrong. I do know he had this
Yeah, but-
big ass necklace on with like a
Yeah, that's
huge,
what I was
like,
talking
emblem.
about.
He
Both of them
definitely
had
that.
like those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even they should know that that's not a low profile though, because like they see regular people. They should know that what they're
Do they?
rocking is. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know if they do see regular people.
I don't know.
'Cause
They
even
like,
the workers are pretty iced out and like, well, not
Yeah.
iced out, but they all look like up and like proper, I guess.
yeah, and they all got like suits on, or the girls have like a dress or like something presentable. But I mean, I feel like the whole premise of the movie is that they're super snooty and out of touch with reality, right? So I feel
Yeah.
like it would make sense that they don't even understand that they're low key. I feel like they don't even own low key clothes
That's
because
true.
they go to
I
the
mean,
store and buy
yeah.
some.
Yeah, that's true. Which leads into the next thing too. If he's saying out of touch, where he just walks in the middle of the road asking for a taxi, and he just like, he's like, you're a dumb fuck, and he's just like, drive me to Queens.
Yeah, he's just so happy. Then he
He's
gets in the
just-
cab. He's like, "What does dumb fuck mean?"
Yeah, exactly. A big ass grin on his face. What's a dumb fuck? Oh my god, that's a good thing you mentioned that too, because that is like a point where it's just like he smiled so much in this movie. He just stayed
Yeah.
so positive the whole movie. And it's like he had parts where he turned, but it was just funny to see him hold that the whole time. Like he never got to a point where it's like, damn, these guys are mean. But it's like he doesn't understand what mean is. Like people someone call him a dumb fuck. I guess he's never been called these things. So I guess that it doesn't make sense.
And he also has like no stakes, right? Like
yeah, that's true.
They get to their apartment and all their shit gets stolen. He doesn't give a fuck. Like
yeah.
And then in the church, he drops a whole clip of money. Like
yeah,
to him, like it doesn't matter, right? Like he has no worries at all. So all the weird shit or bad shit that happens to him, he just has a big ass smile on his face, and he's never left Zamunda. So he's just like, yeah, this is the best. This place is amazing, and yeah. He never stops smiling. He's just a super happy guy. It's great.
Oh yeah,
he'd be a good guy to hang. He'd be a good hang.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's paying for everything. He's
facts.
Yo, it's on Akeem, yo, just doing anything, bro.
Yeah, Semi has the best spot in the whole movie.
Oh yeah, easily.
He's just his boy.
Easily. That's why I don't even. I mean, I understand why he's complaining because he's so used to being like lavish and everything. But like, bro, you got a good gig.
Yeah, exactly.
But so yeah, so they end up in the I guess it's like a rough area in Queens. I don't really know if it's a rough area now, but it was just kind of like it was just messy. Like so they get situated and the white Jewish guy that was like when like in the barber shop, like I didn't actually at first realize that was Eddie. Like because like every other character he plays always kind of looks like him, but the makeup was so thick on that dude that I was like, is that Eddie? And that act and like he's doing I'm not saying that's what every Jewish guy sounds like, but the impression sounded so far off from Eddie's voice. Usually you could hear Eddie's voice in his impressions like a little bit, but this was like I actually had me wondering. I was like, is that Eddie? Like this dude clearly doesn't look like a real person because he looks like you said they all look so strange. But I was like, is that Eddie or is that someone else doing like pretending to be like a white dude? But
no, that was you're right. I thought the same thing, and I actually read that to like test out the makeup kind of the first time he did it, they did the whole makeup and he drove out of the studio and he went around a few studios around where they were filming and he'd introduce himself. He'd be like, hi, I'm Eddie Murphy to people, and nobody believed him.
Really?
So they actually like tested it out and people would have been, I mean, like you were like, like the voice doesn't sound like him. It doesn't look like him. Like he was totally thrown off.
I mean, I believe it because it didn't look like him at all. Like it's like I said, it was like all the movies we've seen, all the movies we've seen him in. You can't be like, oh, that's Eddie Murphy playing another. Usually, he always plays a black person too. I think there's that too. I can't recall another movie where he did a thing and he played on like another like a white person. So I think that's what threw me off too. I was like, is that Arsenio doing another person? Like I don't know, or is that just someone else in the movie doing another person? Like
I just assumed it was someone else. I thought. Because even when they first went, like I said, I could tell that something was off about these guys, but I didn't know it was Eddie and Arsenio until after. But yeah, it was. You're right. It like the voice is totally different from what he usually does. He's not a black person, like you said. I didn't know it was him.
We also shout out. We got a young Cuba Gooding Jr. in there too, getting his haircut. I read that like in that scene, apparently that scene was a little bit longer, and he said that like he came on and said that like he was supposed to speak and be like, oh, I don't have enough for the haircut, and then like the guy that's Eddie playing the barber was just supposed to shave his head bald, and then they were all supposed to just like laugh and clown him, but they took the whole part out, and he was like, damn, that was like my only part, and they took it out in the movie.
I saw the same thing too, and I was like, could you imagine you go to a barbershop and you're like, oh, I don't have any money, and he just like gives you a bald spot?
Yeah, that'd be
wild. Damn. I mean, I get it. Like, you can't just walk in and get a free cut, but like, what does that do for the barber? You know, like giving you giving you a fucking up your hairline. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
a little revenge, I guess.
And also, what did he look like before? Like, he kind of looked like he just shaped up the top. It's not like he shaved anything down. I don't know how big his afro was before, but I don't know.
Well, I don't know where he was at in his career at this point. Anyways, like.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
he made anything big?
Nothing. I didn't look into that. It's like late 80s, so I don't know. It's a good question.
He looked young.
When did Boys in the Hood come out?
Oh, good question. Let me Google
later.
That real quick.
It was after that. I think it was after that. But I mean, you can Google it. But but after that, after they get out of there, they find like the shittiest room that they could rent because Akeem wants to live like the humble life. So they go outside and realize that that's when they realize, like you said, all their clothes had been stolen. So they said, fuck, we need to buy some new drip. So then they're all decked out in just New York shit.
Yeah,
And
they got
this,
the most touristy shit, man.
oh yeah, I Heart New York, all that. Just like
Yeah, come
got the
on.
Yankees hat, all that shit. There's a bunch of buttons too, like obnoxiously large
Yeah.
buttons.
Like, was that on the jacket, or did they get the jacket and then they're like, "Nah, this isn't enough. We need to garnish this with some crazy shit. So let me get all these
They
buttons."
probably got upsold. They probably just got upsold. Some dude
Yeah, you're
came
probably
in,
right.
saw they're like, "Oh, we're tourists." They're like, "Oh, okay, you can get this," and they kept saying, "Like, oh, I'm just keep selling all these things," and they're
Yeah,
because their money's not an issue for them. So the guy was like, "Oh, I can get everything out of these dudes." That's definitely what
yeah. You're
happened.
probably right. That's what I'm surprised there wasn't a quick little scene of that. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
just
think
being
that could have been funny. You
no,
know, they could have had
100%.
someone behind the counter like taking advantage of them, and
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a
could be a
comedian, but I
deleted
feel like
scene.
you could throw some
Oh, for
Eddie
sure.
Murphy would cook in a scene like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he'd be the guy at the cash too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just
100%.
and he'd also play like a baby, and then just everybody else in the
How
in the
crazy
whole.
is that though? Like acting, like countering yourself, because like when he's one character, he's obviously not simultaneously the other person. So like,
Yeah,
do they have someone reading a line to him and then he's reacting to, like, I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true. Probably what you just said. It probably is what you
Yeah,
just said. That makes sense.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get the Soul Glow commercial, which is fucking hilarious. To let your soul glow. Oh, that shit was.
Ooh, nice
Oh,
work. That was
good. That was
clean.
good.
Yeah,
I was
bro.
practicing that. I was practicing.
Nice, nice.
It's so 80s. Like it's one of those things where it's just like it would be like you see like a retro just commercial about someone getting Jerry curls, but it was actually in the time. Like people were getting Jerry curls at the time. But I don't know if there was commercials like that. I need to ask my dad about that. But but that shit was just killing me, man.
Yeah, that was good.
So Akeem heads back to get a haircut, but the barber just snips off the braid. That was all he did. He says, and $8 for that. He's
Yeah,
like, nah,
I gotta put that in like an inflation calculator, see what that actually was. Like, did he get
Yeah.
gypped or?
yeah, I don't know. True. I mean, $8 seems like a lot for that.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I think
in
you can.
1988.
Yeah, like would that be the equivalent of just like paying for a lineup? Like, it's not even that. Like, he just cut hair because a lineup's
Yeah,
the cheapest thing I could think of, and I feel like that's still like
yeah,
probably paying like $20 for a lineup nowadays.
right.
So I don't know. But so they head back so now they head to the bar to try to get to meet women, and they go through like this whole montage of women. Is there anything you want to say about those women, about that montage scene?
Honestly, if I would say, I kind of thought that this was not as funny as I wanted it to be. I'm not gonna, like, when I was
Okay,
watching
yeah.
it, like there was all these different girls, and one of them was Arsenio
Yeah.
in makeup and a wig and all this, and I
Mhm.
was like, they were kind of just all very
Just weird.
stereotypical. Yeah, just weird girls. And like, I get it, they're the whole point is, right, they're like, oh, these aren't the girls for me, I had to find a nice girl. But like, I don't know, I thought like with like you said, a montage of different girls, I thought there could have been more opportunity for some funnier jokes. But
Mhm.
I don't know, I thought it wasn't bad, but I was like, I thought it was a missed opportunity. But I will say, I noticed the meme now of Semi when he drinks the juice and then like the spit take.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
it's
yeah,
a really common like gif now for a
yeah,
spit take. Like, there's tons of spit takes, but
yeah,
this,
for
I don't
sure.
know why this is a
It just
famous
hits.
one, but I
Yeah.
noticed it and I was like, oh shit, that was from this movie. I didn't even realize that.
Oh,
But
so
yeah,
that's a good. I actually didn't even catch that. The one that got me was just the one where it showed both their face and the girls like, I'm into the group thing, and then Eddie didn't care. Then Simi had a big smile on his face. That one got me, and I was like,
okay,
okay.
okay.
So, it's like, okay, Simi.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't funny at all,
But
but I thought there.
it wasn't a. You thought there'd be more hits. I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
What do you
I
think?
no. I felt the same way. I felt the same
Okay.
way. Like the girl with the said like the group thing that got me, but all the other ones I was like, it just felt like a very much like, okay, these girls are kind of weird. They're kind of lame.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like the girl
Yeah,
letting her
yeah.
hand. It's like it's not much there. They were just all kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they were. I thought this scene definitely had a opportunity to not age well, just based off what they had the girls say and stuff. But I was like, okay, I think that's what I was more worried about when I was watching this. I was like, we have
True.
to talk about this, but I was like, no, it was fine. It was
Yeah,
fine.
you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, again, to their no luck. So then they meet the barber again. He's telling them that they need to go to a place better than that. That's not where we're gonna meet a good girl. You got to come to the Black Awareness Week event. So they go. And this scene was funny.
Yeah.
This was a good scene. We get the preacher on stage, and the whole there's a God somewhere.
I have this
There's
all
a
written
God
down too.
somewhere. There's a God. Oh, could go. Say what you-
I literally like. I'll read to you what I wrote in my notes here. I wrote, "The preacher at the Black Awareness pageant is nuts." In quotation marks, Reverend Brown. That's his name, Reverend Brown.
Reverend Brown.
And then I have a couple of quotes here, like you were saying, like, when I look at these contestants, I feel good because there's a God. There's a God. Can I get an amen? And it's so over the top, but it's hilarious. It's so good. And like, why is there a pageant? Like,
I don't know.
This is a reverend. What? They're there for like 5 seconds, and then he's like, "Okay, you can get off the stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, lady." And then he keeps going, like, "What the?" But yeah, this whole sexual chocolate thing fucking killed me. This is great.
Oh no, it was good. That was the first time like I laughed really hard. Like I was laughing to the movie, like, oh, that's funny. But then as soon as the preacher came on, he started doing his shit. That really started to go. I was like, oh my god, that shit's hilarious. And yeah, the whole Randy Watson sexual chocolate performance, and again we got Eddie in there, and Samuel was Arsenio, was the preacher, or what was his name, Reverend Brown, right?
Reverend Brown.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good though. And we at that point we meet Mr. McDowell, we meet Lisa McDowell, and Akeem is in awe of Lisa as she gives the speech. Like he's just starstruck, and that's when he donates that huge clip as they're just like passing it, looking for donations. So we see where he's looking for his next queen, because Semi's like, yo, just pick one of those girls on stage and let's get out of here. And he's like, nah, I wanna know somebody first. So that's what we get. So after that, we get Akeem and Semi they're looking for a job at McDowell's. And I thought this was funny too, because I thought the whole McDowell's thing was gonna be like a replacement for McDonald's in the movie. Like, you know how like in like Victorious they have like the peaches that have iPhones? I thought McDowell's was gonna just be like the replacement McDonald's thing, but they actually have both of them in there, which actually makes it even more funny.
No, I kind of thought the same thing. Like when I saw it, like, because you first get like an overhead shot of the restaurant, and it's like the giant, it's like the golden arches, like the M, but it's a little bit off. And then like it's McDowell's. I was like, are they just getting close enough to McDonald's so we know it's McDonald's, but you can't say it? But then there's the whole thing of him ripping McDonald's off, and it's yeah, that kills me.
Which is also a little funny thing in itself too. He's like, they're McDonald's, I'm McDowell's.
Yeah, like, it's amazing.
And also, this shit is hilarious. And then he's screaming at the dude for taking pictures. He's like, yo, get out of here. Get out of here. It's even funny too later on. Like, I didn't actually remember writing down what scene it was in, but like when you get him to looking at the operations for McDonald's, he just closes it quickly.
Yeah, someone comes into I think this is when it's when Akeem comes in the room to ask him something or something. And then,
he's the football thing.
Yeah, and he's literally looking at the McDonald's manual. And then he puts it away, and I was like, God damn it, Mr. McDowell. Yeah, that shit killed me.
Oh, fuck. So then after that, we get he gives them the task. So you guys are gonna be you're gonna be cleaning. So he's mopping everything, teaching them like how to mop up. So then we get Akeem meets Lisa for the first time. So he just introduces himself as he's like mopping around. He just has that little scene where he's just mopping by, and he's mopping by a second time, just smiling. She's not even looking at him. And then he finally comes in and says hey to her, and just he's nothing else to say. All this time he didn't think about like anything else besides just saying hello.
No game,
yo. He says when you think of garbage, think of Akeem, but I think no game when I think of Akeem, yo. What the hell?
Well, I mean, is garbage any better? I think that's like, oh yeah. When you think of garbage, think of me. Like, when you're talking to a girl, you don't want her to associate garbage with you. Come on, Akeem.
No, definitely not. I mean, in his defense, like we said, like he's never had to spit game his whole life.
Yeah.
He's always just, not even girls throw themselves at him. Like they just are brought to him.
For him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking cleaning him. I'm assuming wiping him too.
Yeah.
So like he's
getting
just
the royal penis clean.
Yeah, exactly. So then this part killed me too, because then we see Daryl. He makes his way to McDowell's, and the theme song for "Just Let Your Soul Glow Again" is playing as he's picking out his hair, looking. It almost seemed like a commercial, because then he just smiles as the song ends.
Yeah, I recognize him from ER. This guy.
Oh, okay. I was trying to remember. I didn't even look into it afterwards. I was trying to think.
I looked into it after, because I was like, He looks so I was like, this guy looks so
he does look
familiar.
really
What do I
familiar.
know? What do I know this guy from? And so I looked into it after, and yeah, it's from ER because my wife likes that show.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
it would always be on, and I recognize but the whole time I was like, he looks like a younger version of someone. Like he looks so
Oh,
familiar.
okay. Yeah. I obviously
But
didn't have the Jerry curl in the ER,
no,
but
he had like a buzz, basically, like a
he
wonder.
still okay. Mustache still too or no?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
it's a long
yeah.
ass show though, so he might have had different styles
Yeah,
throughout.
throughout the show.
I don't know
Yeah.
it
I was
completely,
thinking the
but like,
same thing too. I was like, I wasn't sure if this guy just looks like somebody I know.
hmm,
But at that point I was like, nah, I don't think he's someone I know. And I haven't seen the AR, so like I guess maybe I've seen him from something else. I
yeah,
don't know. Or maybe
probably.
I've seen him on a poster. I don't know. Who knows? But
Yeah,
this is the part where we find out that Daryl's he's dating Lisa. So like Mr. Dowell's daughter. And Lisa asked if it was him who donated, and he's like, "Yeah, of course, anything for the kids." He's a
yeah,
piece of shit, yo. He's taking taking Akeem's money and acting like it was his own. But because like I didn't even mention it when they were doing the donation thing. This guy didn't even look at it. He just passed it on immediately.
yeah,
And we know he's
100%.
loaded. This guy could have threw a buck in there. You're just like, nah, I don't give a shit. Fuck these kids, you
Nothing. And there was even like the barbers, like they even threw some money in that they're this
Yeah.
tiny little barber shop in Queens. I'm assuming they don't have a ton of money, but
Mhm.
yeah, they even threw in some money. So this guy's a bum.
Oh, he's a big
Couldn't
bum.
even throw in
And
a couple bucks. And it's his girl.
that's what, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
crazy.
It is crazy, but hey, we see throughout the movie he's not the best guy. But but Akeem goes to the barber shop because now he wants to get a Jerry curl to impress Lisa because he thinks that's the move. That's the move. But they tell him that nah, you don't get a Jerry curl, bro. You gotta get close to the dad. And now this is the point when then he goes to the dad, and that's when I'm remembering that's when he's always looking at the McDonald's folder and he's like, oh. And then he tries to relate to them with a football, but it just doesn't work because he just no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah. Did you watch the American football game on the TV? Yes. They scored off of a kick through the two posts, the H posts. It was magnificent. And yeah.
And he thinks he's on drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He's like, if you want to keep working here, stay off the drugs. Yes, sir. And he's just that smile never leaves him.
Big
Man.
ass smile. It never does. Never do. What were you gonna say though? Oh, Zamunda doesn't get that channel like it or something like that.
Well, I was just gonna say a Zamundan. Is that what you think it would be?
I guess so, probably.
Zamundan Prince. Yeah, I don't know. Well, he does mention that they watch soccer.
They watch soccer. Yeah, that's true.
Which is fair. I mean, really, nobody out of Canada and the U.S. watches football.
Yeah, not as much as it's true. Not as much as we do. That's 100% true. The lineup on Mr. McDowell's jokes, like I don't know if you really took it in. Like clearly he's balding and he's kind of like got a receding thing. But if you look at it, he's actually lined up. Like it's a lineup in the middle of his head, and he's literally got the like I don't even know what you call that. You know when people get lined up and then they get like the kind of like the tiger stripe or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has that. He's lined. I think it's just kind of a joke that's sitting there and nobody mentions. But this man's lined up with his hair in the middle of his head.
I noticed the stripe or the line.
Yeah,
I didn't notice the lineup though. That's crazy.
It's lined
up on the top of your head is madness.
You think it was those guys in Queens that did him like that?
No, man, he's too rich for that. He probably goes to like some, I don't know, some Manhattan barber, and I don't know, probably some white barber that doesn't even know how to mess with black hair, and
they don't have the heart to tell him like maybe we should just go low on this. He's like, no, line me up.
I'm paying $100 for a cut. You better line me up.
But yeah, so one of the workers tells Akeem that rich guys get all the girls. So then he's like, he kind of gets the idea to send her a present. Then obviously he's not going to tell her that he's rich, but that's he sends a little secret admirer earrings to her. But we meet Patrice, who's Lisa's sister, at their house, and that's when the package comes in and the whole delivery, and it says, yeah, from a secret admirer that's not Daryl, so you can't take credit for this one. So yeah, so then Akeem takes his next shot to try to talk to Lisa again, but ends up in a double date with Lisa, Daryl, and then Patrice. And then they go to this basketball game, and Daryl is just like is a dickhead, and Loki kind of racist like for no reason, just shitting on. This is when you get like he's like the perfect antagonist, but he's just talking about like, oh, you're not used to wearing clothes over there in Africa. And I'm just like, so
Like,
left field. I'm like, all right.
yeah, I mean, he's just trying to flex, I feel like, in front of his girl, but yeah, he's great. I mean, he's, like you said, the perfect antagonist. He's like the stereotypical like asshole boyfriend that he's rich though, so he's kind of douchey and
Yeah.
but yeah, he's crazy to Akeem, but he doesn't take any of the disrespect. Like, he's just answers him honestly. Like, he's making fun of him, and Akeem's answering him honestly with a big ass smile on his face. But he's plotting, man, the whole time. He's snaking his girl. He's plotting.
And Akeem, like you said, Akeem does not just give a damn. And then Patrice is wild, yo. Just like telling him to take off his jacket, and then she just give him a handy under the coat.
I saw that. I was like, is this actually happening? I was like, is she like outside? Like, she's under the jacket.
Yeah.
But I was like, is she under the pants too? Like,
yeah,
in the middle of a basketball game, just jerking homie off? Like, that's,
and she
that's
just met the dude too.
Yeah, facts. That's crazy.
Like, she's wild. That shit was funny wild. Though. Like, as he was like cheering, yes, and there's like it's halftime. He's like, oh, it's...
I mean, what does she expect? Like, she's so like not desperate, but she's so jealous of Lisa throughout the whole movie, right? So like she basically tries anything to get a guy. She ends up with Simulator, but like, at a game under the jacket is crazy. That's crazy work.
Wild. And for so many reasons it's wild too, because one, it's like you're already like your family. Well, I don't know. I guess you'd say they're rich, like they're well off. So it's not like you're not like, I don't understand and she's not like she's the ugly sister or anything. So why is she so desperate to just get any guy? It was that's a good question. It was so weird to me how aggressive she was just to get a guy the whole movie. I was just like, all right, it's funny.
I guess she's just thirsty.
I guess. Oh, very. Very. Like, she couldn't even be like, yo, come to the place after, like, yo, take off your coat so you can get this handy. Yo, like, shit.
Yeah, that's facts.
But then we get
you're right, she's not even like the ugly stepsister.
Yeah.
She's good looking, she's pretty.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess like her dad really likes Daryl. So maybe like he's always talking up Daryl and saying, like, if Lisa's his favorite, maybe it's some of that, daddy issues. Maybe that's it.
That's true. We also get the guy that almost blows Akeem's cover. Like, I don't know, he's just like a random worker, and he starts freaking out, like, oh, let me take a picture of that. He's like, yo, chill out, dog. He's like, oh, let me take a picture, kissing his hand and everything. I'll cherish this moment forever. And then there was that scene killed me too, because they're like, who was that guy? I was like, oh, just a man I met in the restroom.
Would you like, there's all these people around him, right? When he's like, oh, let me take a picture with you, and like you said, he gets down on one knee and he's like shaking his head and kissing him. I feel like if I saw that, I would want to take a picture with that guy too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
I'd be in the moment. I'd be like, yo, this guy's obviously someone famous or something. I'd be like, all right, hey, can I get a picture too? I take a picture and then I Google him after, and then I'd be like, oh shit, I met this guy. But like, if I just Google him after him, like, oh, that was that dude, I missed my chance. I don't have a picture with him,
No, that's true. But I mean, also that's 1988. So at that point, you're like, now, if I said that happened now, but also I'd also be wondering too, like, is this guy just crazy? Maybe that dude's just nobody. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This could just be weird. Because Akeem's like pushing him away. He's like, yo, chill out. Like, it's not like he's like, oh yeah, true, I get this all the time. You know what I mean? If I saw that, and it's like, okay. But the guy's like, yo, I'll be like, I don't know if that dude's just bugging over there or
That's
what.
A good point.
So who knows?
And I was thinking in today's context, you're right. So I was like, as if I had my phone, I could just take a picture and Google it. Because like, even that guy, when he asked for a picture, his homeboy comes with his little disposable camera, snaps a picture. So I mean, if you were there, you'd have to have a camera with you. So
exactly.
I didn't even think of it like that, but I was like, come on, guys, like, get a picture with this guy. But you're right.
No, 100%.
In the context, it's not that simple. Again,
like you said,
what a time to be alive.
Oh yeah, true. Just take pictures of anything, Google anything, like
anything,
information at your fingertips.
Amazing.
So then the next day we're back, and Akeem tries to talk to Lisa again, but we got a robber. Shout out Samuel Jackson trying to get some money. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was going to be in this movie. Like, I don't know if you knew like ahead of time. It's a nice little surprise.
How many cameos does this guy have? Dude?
Oh my gosh!
I wonder how many movies he's in. Like, how many movies he's actually has a credit for.
I swear him and Morgan Freeman are just trying to go neck and neck with each other. And they both started late too, so they're trying to make up for time. They both like started their careers like in their 40s basically when they got like big
Well, I don't
roles.
know. How old was Samuel in this movie? He's pretty young, I feel like.
He does look pretty young, but this is like late 80s though. So this is also before Pulp Fiction, all those things, but like he was still, I don't think he was getting any leads yet at that point. I don't think so.
Yeah.
He was
Well, he was born in 1948 and this was 88, so he was 40. Yeah.
Oh
damn.
shit. Then this is like when he was starting. So this is like a young Samuel, I guess you could say. At least young in his, I mean, still a young man, but young in like in his
Well,
acting career.
we saw young Samuel L. in Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
The de-age Samuel L. Jackson.
That is true. No, that is true. But yeah, so then Akeem he plays the hero, and the training that we saw earlier in the movie comes in handy because he uses stick from from his mop, and then him and Semi fight off the robber, and McDowell is grateful, invites them to his party. I'm thinking he's actually inviting them to like actually be at the party. He's just inviting them over to be workers. Which again, they did have to accept. It wasn't like it was like, hey, you want to come to the party? You're gonna work. They could have been like, no. But I guess what's it called? Keem's trying to get as close to Lisa as much as he can. So he's like, oh, we're gonna work this party.
Yeah, it's another opportunity. And I think they honestly had the same thought that you did, and I did, right? He was like, oh, do you want to come to the party? Because they show up, and then when Mr. McDowell is like, okay, you're gonna be taking the keys and you're gonna be at the bar, Semi's like face kind of drops, and he's like,
yeah.
So I think he was kind of like, oh,
yeah,
we're just here to work. I thought he was actually going to the party.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And then we get Daryl being a dickhead again, talking about like, oh, you're probably used to that from fighting lions and shit. He's like, I was gonna help you, but I just
what do you say? I had a coffee or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like that
right,
changes anything.
You put this shit down, right? The next part killed me is when we meet Daryl's family and they all have Jerry curls, even the grandma.
Yeah.
Like I didn't notice it at first until they got up later and all their Jerry curls were on the couch. Like all the liquid from their Jerry curls on the couch. And I was like, oh shit, grandma have a Jerry curl too? I thought she had like a mini afro. They all got Jerry curls. It's in the business.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's this. They're all repping Soul Glow, man. They all got to rep the product, the family business,
which is hilarious. I'm just imagining their family parties, just like everyone at the family's got to have their Jerry curl.
Yeah, their house probably smells funky.
Oh shit! Yeah, nobody light any matches. Yo, fucking the whole shit's going down. We get real messy real quick.
True.
But then we get Daryl and McDowell. They announced that Lisa and him are getting married, but she didn't know about this. He was trying to do the whole arranged marriage thing. Cause I mean, I think Mr. McDowell actually thought she did say yes, because he says, oh, and like Daryl proposed and Lisa said yes, but she was not pissed. I'm not happy. Sorry, she was pissed with that. And
yeah, Daryl. Well, I was just gonna say Daryl asked Mr. McDowell, like, can I talk to you for a second? So yeah, I'm pretty sure they just kind of handled that, and Mr. McDowell, like Lisa didn't know, but right before they actually announced this to the party, I thought it was funny. Mr. McDowell goes to Akeem because he's working the bar, and he tells keep everyone's drinks full. So he goes to Akeem at the bar. He says, make sure everyone's glass is full. We're about to make a special announcement. Yeah. And then he walks to the side, grabs Daryl, and says, all right, can I have everyone's attention, please? Like instantly.
Oh,
like,
how
was he? You thought this guy was the Flash? Like he was just sprint around the whole room, filling everyone's glass in 2 seconds. He was like, make sure everyone's glass is full. All right, cheers, everyone. It's like, bro, how is he supposed to fill everyone's glass? Come on, dude.
I didn't even catch that. That's so instant. True. It's instant. Yeah, it's not even like any time has passed.
Yeah,
that's so funny. I didn't even notice that.
That made me laugh.
So, but after, because like Elisa's pissed, she goes out to the swing set, and Keem goes to check on her, ask if everything's okay, and he tries to console her, but she explains how she's upset, and he understands it because of his whole arranged marriage situation. He doesn't tell her that, but he's like, because she's like, it's like it's weird to like not have a choice about like who you're marrying, just like be spoken into it. He's like, I get it. He says like back in his country that arranged marriages are common, but he's obviously not saying that like it's him. But then we get Patrice cock blocks and says, hey, we need these drinks filled, and she gives him a little look because I don't know if she really wants some drinks filled or she's talking about something else, but
She wants something else filled, maybe. You think she was
yeah, I
tugging him
guess.
behind the bar or something? Like,
I don't know, man.
or maybe she was with some other dude. Because, like we said, like she hooks up with Sebi later, and like she's just
Yeah,
thirsty for anybody. So maybe she's just
anything.
around the whole house, just with
I
anybody.
guess. I guess so. So then we get the next day. So Simi complains he wants to change apartment because he doesn't want to go to work because like this place is a shithole. Which, in his defense, is a shithole. Like they could have picked just like any humble. It didn't have to have rats, blood on the walls. We didn't even mention that. There was looking like there was chalk. Well, it wasn't chalk. It was like taped out
It was
bodies.
tape, yeah.
Yeah, of a dog and a freaking person that died there. Like they didn't have to go that crazy. They could have just been like,
Well, that's what Akeem asked for. He was like, "Give me your cheapest room, like your worst room." He literally asked for his worst room when he talks to the landlord. But yeah, that was totally unnecessary. But Akeem, I don't know. He was like, "I'm here. I want to do it fully. I want to be as broke as possible." Because he did say, I guess this is why. Because he said he wants a girl. He wants to find a girl that loves him.
oh,
for
that
him,
likes him
right?
for him. That's true.
Yeah, so he's like, I want to get like I don't want her to be impressed by my apartment or anything. So I want the worst of the worst. So I guess that's why.
I mean, it didn't have to be complete shithole. Is what I'm saying. Though.
Yeah,
It could have been the
enough,
same. It could have been a similar room, but just like at least clean. You know what I mean? Like
you're
it
right.
didn't
It
have
could
to
have been
be
clean.
as bad as it was. That looked like a safety hazard. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there was still
Yeah.
blood on the walls. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
and a rat going across
That's what I
the
mean.
floor. Yeah. Fair enough. You're right.
It still looked like it was an open crime scene. The guy took off the tape before he let them in the room. So I don't even know if it's even
good point.
illegal that they could be living in there. But Lisa asked Akeem to go on on a dinner date at the house. So he brings her back, but Simi changed too much. So it looks like they're rich, and he was pissed about that. He's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be poor." So he's acting all kind of strange, but because she's like, "Oh, you're that poor, I can't see inside your house." But he's like, "No, like it's just yeah, I'm embarrassed." He lies to her. So then they end up going out to dinner, and Akeem tries to open up to her, but obviously he can't say too much because he doesn't want her to know what he really is. So he just tells her that he's a goat hoarder. And then they kind of have like their nice little moment where like they dance and they kiss. Is there anything you wanted to speak on this sequence, like their whole like date?
I just wanted to give Akeem some props for hitting a bar when they're dancing,
Okay, yeah.
and just before this is what leads to the kiss. So when they're dancing, and he's like trying to like he's pulling moves, right? Like they're dancing, they're getting close, and Lisa says, "Well, what about Patrice, right? Because they were on a double date with Daryl, and Patrice was with Akeem, and so she's like, "What about Patrice?" And he says, "I'm not interested in Patrice." And then she says, "Well, what about Daryl?" He says, "Well, I'm not interested in Daryl either."
Yeah.
He's just like, "I ain't worried about that bump." Yeah, I ain't worried about that. I don't care about your sister and that man. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll handle that. Don't worry, baby. I'll handle that. He hit that bar, and she was like,
That's a good bar.
"Oh shoot, okay." And then that's how he got the kiss. Nice work, Akeem.
Okay. You know what's funny? I didn't even take him saying that bar like that. I thought he was trying to make like a joke, like he's not interested in him, like he's not like attracted to him. Like I thought he was playing off that. That's maybe he was saying like that, but I took it as like, what about Patrice? Like, well, I don't like her. It's like, what about Daryl? And I thought he was trying to act like, oh, well, I don't like him either. Like he's not my type. I thought he was doing like that kind of joke. But
You could be right.
I like yours better though. Like I that's how I took it. But I want to think that Akeem is a G like that. I want to so we're gonna say it was that.
And this is what he wasn't. He didn't even have that big ass smile either. Like, because when he has that big ass smile, like he looks kind of innocent and dorky, right?
No,
so like
true.
when he at this point, like they're dancing, and he's not angry or anything, but he's like more smooth and like mature, right? And then he hits this bar, and I feel like you could be right that it was that, but I thought it was more like I ain't worried about Daryl.
No, I'm wrong. It's that one.
I'm gonna steal his girl.
Nah,
okay,
forget what I
nice.
said. Cut this out of the podcast. Nah. Nah, Akeem's tough. So yeah, after that, Simi Simi sends out a telegram to get more money from the king, because I didn't mention it before. After after Akeem saw everything he did to the room, he took his pocket change, which I don't even know how much it was. It looked like a lot of money, and he ended up giving it away to like some homeless guys. But he tried to get more money, and So we just get him at like, I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know if that's like a mailing
Post
place
office
or whatever it is. Yeah, post office, I guess. And
Yeah.
she gives him some trouble too. Like, why do you care what his message even says? I didn't
Yeah.
like. It was kind of funny, but at the same time, I was like, why is she bugging? Like, why is she? Since when did they read what you send, and then like give notes on it? Are you sure you want to send this? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this sounds. Are you sending this to your girl? This love letter sucks, bro. Are you sure
Yeah.
you want to send? No, you're right, but you're right. That's a good point. That would never happen. But I did think it was funny that she was like, "So you're sending this to the king, and you want $100,000?" He's like, "Should I ask for 200,000?" Like he's so serious, and she's like, doesn't believe him at all, right? Because this is just a ridiculous amount of money, especially in 1988. But
for sure.
But you're right. Why is she doing that?
It was like, it wasn't honestly until this moment. Like, I didn't even write that in my like in the notes or anything where I was like, why is she tripping? And just in this moment, I thought, I was like, wait, why is that? You imagine like you said the love letter thing. You sent a love letter and then it gets sent back to you. Like, what happened? And there's like someone giving notes on it. Like, nah, dog, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That'd be hurtful as fuck. I'd be so cheese. I'd be like, hey man, you don't know my girl. Oh, she's gonna love this. Nah, I don't think so, my man. I think you should maybe make some changes.
Yeah, try again. What did you mean? Like they have the whole red pen thing. What did you mean when you said this?
Yeah,
like, maybe
it was a teacher marking you.
Yeah, exactly. They left a little 7
See
out of
me
10.
after class.
Yeah. Yeah, Patrice goes over to the apartment and sees all the expensive stuff they have, and like Semi is kind of just like, oh shit. Well, actually we don't know at first what actually, because she's just like, oh, how do you guys afford all this stuff like on this salary? So Akeem goes home and then he catches them in the bed, and Simi told her that he was the prince, not to blow Akeem's cover, which is like, but how did she get in their apartment in the first place? No, I didn't think about that until I was scrubbing looking for outfits the second time, but I was like, wait, how did she even get in their house?
Yeah, how does she even know where they live?
Yeah,
that's a good question. I didn't even think of that.
Like, not only did she figure out where they lived, she broke into their house. I guess maybe Lisa told them or something, but like, I don't know how she got in the house. Why did she think it was okay to just break into their house even if it was open too?
I don't know.
But hey, she's trying to get some shit, yo. So that's why she's desperate.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll break into houses to get what she wants. So
yeah, she is super desperate. God damn.
Oh, damn it, Patrice.
Damn it, Patrice.
But I said that.
Another How I Met Your Mother reference.
Yeah,
Robin.
Damn it, Patrice. But anyway, so we get Akeem and Sammy who go back to another apartment. So, well, they try to get another apartment, but the landlord tells them that they can just switch rooms with him. He's like, hey, if you guys don't want this, I'll switch with you.
Lit ass. Yeah, I'll take this dope ass apartment. 100%.
They're like, is it shitty enough? He's like, yeah, it's shitty. He's like, it's shitty enough. I'll definitely take this. But so then we get they move fast. The king and the queen, or the king and his wife, the queen, they've already made their way to Queens. So they're looking for Akeem. And then, like, they go to the barbershop. I'm like, damn, like, how fast did how long ago did he send the telegram? Like, did a day pass by and then they're already there? Like, that shit is quick. New York to Zamunda? Like, how close is that?
Not very close. I mean, we know it's in Africa, so it's not very close.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I almost wondered if it was like supposed to be like a Wakanda type shit. Like, is this like some hidden place that we don't know about, or like? But I guess if he's selling a telegram, then they know about it. But
no, it's not hidden.
But shit moves fast. But so they make their way to the Queens, and the king finds Simi, and he's mad. So which is funny because the punishment, he's like, hey, your punishment, you go back to the hotel and you get cleaned thorough, and he's like, I'm so sorry. And then he just smiles. He's like, oh man, oh okay, oh I know what that means. It's not the royal penis is getting clean, but he's still getting clean.
I thought that was funny, man. Like, they were like, your punishment is to go to the nicest hotel in Manhattan, get cleaned by their cleaners. That the naked women basically that are gonna clean him up, get his royal penis clean, and yeah, he's giving that little smirk the whole time, but. I mean, wouldn't the king see, like, he sees the living condition because he's in the apartment. He sees a shithole and he's like, yeah, this is your punishment. Wouldn't you tell that that's not a punishment? Like, come on, man. That's
true. Maybe he should have done like a wink at the camera. He should look to the camera too.
Okay.
And I've been like, that's your punishment. Like, maybe he's just trying to he's trying to act hard in front of the queen, but he's like, don't worry, I got you, Simi. I got you.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, fair enough.
And the queen should just like rolled her eyes. There's something we're putting our own little edits on it, but it was still funny.
Yeah, the queen was actually jokes, man. Like there was actually a scene. Well, the scene, like the dinner scene early on in the movie. I guess it was breakfast when they were at the table in the morning. And this is when the king was telling Akeem, like, oh, we got this the woman she's been brought up her whole life just to marry you and serve you. And Akeem's like, oh, I don't want that. I want, someone that loves me. And the king says, you have to find a balance between one that serves you and one that loves you. And then like she gives the king a weird look, like the fuck this nigga just say?
Oh.
And then looks at Akeem, like gives him a smile like of reassurance. And then she looks back at the king a second time and was like, wait, what did he say? Like, she was like, wait, what did he say? It's okay. Wait, hold up, no. What did he actually say? Like the double look killed me.
Yeah, it was really funny. Yeah, it's just a subtle thing. It's just a subtle thing. It was good.
It was good though.
No, it was good. So then we're with Akeem and Lisa, and they're at the museum, and it's a close call because there's a picture of him at the museum, like with his pops and with his mom, and so the king is still looking for Akeem. So now he's at McDowell's, and he like the restaurant, and he meets Mr. McDowell, and now he's all gassed because he didn't like the fact that Lisa and Akeem were going on dates and stuff. He wanted him with Daryl, but now he knows that he's Akeem, so now he's all for Lisa dating Akeem now. He's all and this is everything going forward. He's just all giddy about Akeem now. Before he was hating. He didn't want nothing to do with him. He's like, you told me he was a goat hoarder.
Yeah, because he knew Daryl was rich, like with the soul glow, but he's not Akeem rich. He's not royalty rich. So what he's like, oh, that's even a step up. Say less. Exactly. That's Lisa's new man.
Exactly.
Making all these decisions for Lisa.
Yeah, I know. Same shit. But so Akeem sees the rose petals and he realizes that his dad's there. So he's like, oh shit. So he tries to make his way, like him and Lisa, because he's with Lisa still at this point. So they try to go and they go to her place. And Mr. McDowell tries to keep Akeem there so the king can come and meet them there. But Akeem's trying to get out of there. And Daryl even tries to come because like Mr. McDowell told him to come to apologize. It's like, oh, everything's going to work out. But this is before he found out that Akeem was a prince, and now he wants nothing to do with Daryl. Daryl's at the door, and he just opens the door. He's like, "Yo, get out of here!" But doesn't even actually just close the door straight up on the first time, and he knocks again. He's telling him like, she doesn't like you. Get out. He's like, "You told me to come here." And then the third time he just sicks the dog on him. He's like, "Yo, get the heck out of here!" And then
this tiny ass dog, and Daryl like, gets scared and runs away. Like, bro, just walk in the house or yell, just be like, "Lisa, it's Daryl." Like, Daryl's trash, man.
Yeah, I know. He is.
You get folded by this tiny ass dog.
I know. Like literally, he could have kicked that dog. Like, I don't know what.
Like that dog's not doing anything to him.
Nothing. But
especially with that Jerry curl.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just brush your hair on the dog. It'll get
That's what I'm saying.
And it will run the heck away. Dogs don't know. And then you put on the dog, and then the dog gets a Jerry curl. Again, we're writing. We're writing here. Oh shit! I hit my camera. But yeah, we're writing here. So then we get Akeem. Yeah, he just rushes his way out, and McDowell tells Lisa that he's a prince, shows him the money that he's on because he's on the, I don't even know, like $100 bill or something like that. And then she gets upset because now again, it's never good when someone else tells you the truth. It would have been better if Akeem told her, but she finds out through her dad. So Akeem he goes back to the hotel to tell Semi that like, we got to go back to Queens. The king gets to the Dowell's house and he talks to Lisa and tells her that his wife to be. And he makes things worse because he says, "Oh yeah, Akeem came here to soil his royal oats." So it's not everyone just putting flames on it.
So Lisa thinks that Akeem's just trying to get with her.
Yeah,
like not actually, have a relationship. He's just trying to hook up with her, like because that's basically what his dad just told her. So
yeah,
she's
exactly.
Like, man, get this guy out. I thought he liked me. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but this was what I was talking about. Like all this kind of more soft, like romantic relationship stuff in the movie. I didn't expect. I thought it was just a straight comedy. I didn't know there was this whole romantic side and the whole love interest. I didn't know that was a thing.
No, true. I agree with you. The whole back part of the movie, you're like, oh, this is really like focused on the love part. You almost think it's gonna be one of those movies where it's like, I wouldn't say the style of like the scary movies where it's like there's somewhat of a storyline going on, but like the storyline is very back, and it's just about getting a joke out in each one of these
Yeah.
scenes. It's joke, 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 and it doesn't really matter if the people get together at the end. But this one that's actually like centered around like, will he actually find his love, kind of
Yeah,
thing, and it's
because
like I
you're
didn't
because you're right.
expect that either.
I thought it would be kind of like the scary movie type, like you were mentioning, like because up until this point, there wasn't really a lot that happened. You know,
Mhm.
he shows up to America, he meets Lisa, they go out on one date, and they kiss, and then everything else between that is just kind of jokes. Like the plot hasn't really moved other than
Yeah.
that. So I thought it was kind of like that, but at this point, it's like, oh, this is actually Akeem. Like their relationship is actually really important. Like these two characters getting together is actually impactful in the story, but which I wasn't expecting, but I actually liked it. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
No, I liked it too. It's like a good like a little thing you added in there. Because again, you're just going there, just getting ready for the jokes, and there's also something
Yeah.
else like an underlying story in there. It's like, oh, cool, because it just like it helps you go through the journey even more. It's like, oh, there's something else actually happening here, and then they're making you laugh along the way, which is good.
Mhm.
So the king belittles Mr. McDowell's, and like they causes some tension because he's all happy. He's like, yeah, our kid's gonna be together, and he's like, oh, but the king's not about it. He's like, I don't want my daughter with like the likes of them. And then now he's flipped, threatens to put his foot in his ass. He's ready to fight the king now, and the king's like, wait, what? Like he was not used to anyone talking back to him.
I mean, respect to Mr. McDowell. As soon as man starts talking shit about your daughter, he flips. He's like, no, 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 I ain't having that. No,
Oh yeah,
you're not saying she's trash. Like she's not fit for your son. Like, nah, that's my daughter. That's my girl.
no,
And he
100%.
starts scrapping. He was 1 second, he was all for 100%. I want Akeem to marry her. You know, I want all this money. And then as soon as he starts talking, the king starts talking shit. He's like, nah, nah, nah. That's not going down. Not in my house.
I
You're
mean, he
in
gets
my house. You're not talking about my daughter like that.
Oh
Respect.
yeah, no, yeah, fuck him for that. But he gets a taste of his own medicine though, because if the king heard the way he was talking about Akeem before, the way because he thought he was poor, he was thinking he's basically saying the same shit. He didn't want him to be
Facts.
with this son because you said he was a goat hoarder. So what if he was a goat hoarder? You know what I mean? And now the king's saying something about your daughter, and now you're flipping. This was the same shit you were doing.
Yeah, that's a
So
good point. Right.
hey, this dude's your
Is it?
employee too. What are you saying about your own employees? Like, I don't want you dating one of the people that work with me or work for me, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
You ever Akeem could never move up to be manager? Shit, yo.
Yeah, he was.
Hi,
Well, he even
McDowell.
said to Akeem, he's like, "Man, if you work hard, you can get a house like this." Like when Akeem first pulls up to the house, right?
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, "What do you think of the house?" Like, I worked hard for this, and he's like, "If you work hard, maybe you can get here too."
He
So
said
you're right. He
20
started flaming
years.
him. Yeah,
20 years?
just
That's
to rip off McDonald's.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, it's he was shitting on him. But hey, so then we get this scene killed me too. There's a little cut scene. It's a little tiny scene, just like of Daryl and Patrice when he comes into the room. And this was the other the fourth wall break that I was talking about.
Okay.
Because he goes into the room and she's like, oh, what happened with like Daryl and Patrice? And he's like, Lisa dumped me. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. And she's like, well, the first thing we got to do is get you out of these wet clothes. And then he just looks at the camera. And then the scene ends.
I didn't notice him look at the
Oh, you
camera
didn't
there.
notice?
Actually,
That's what made me
No.
laugh too. Because I was like, okay, get him out of these wet clothes. And he just turns and looks at the camera. I was like, okay.
Bro, Patrice instantly, she's around any man.
Oh
She's
my goodness,
like,
man.
let me get out. Instantly, man. She's wild.
She's wild.
Thirsty.
But then we get so Akeem follows Lisa onto the subway. She's trying to apologize for lying, but she gives back the earrings and he asked her to marry. He said he'll give up the whole kingdom for her. Like he's serious about it, but she still says no. And Akeem just ends up giving the earrings to like a random woman. So Akeem, well, did you want to say anything about this whole like subway sequence or?
I'll just say I thought it was funny. There was a woman because yeah, he's chasing Lisa through the subway, and saying, I actually do love you. What my dad said is not true. I didn't come here just to hook up with girls. I'll renounce my throne. Like I don't even care. Like I don't care about all that. And so he says, I'll renounce my throne. Will you marry me then? And then Lisa's kind of like thinking for a second, and then it cuts to this woman on the train, and she's looking at Lisa, and she gives like this nod, like this
You're
this
reassuring.
happy nod, and I was like, why is she doing this? You don't know these people. She's like, oh, he's a prince. Like, yeah, marry him,
Yeah.
girl. I thought that was funny, that woman, and that's actually the woman that he gives the earrings to after,
Oh yeah,
because
you're
Lisa
right.
leaves, and then she's like, oh well, if you're looking for a wife, I'll marry you. And he's
Yeah.
like, let's just take these earrings, get out of my face.
Just take. Yo, he's really loaded, man. He's just throwing his money all around.
100%.
Like
we
we
don't
don't
take these earrings. Get out of here. I don't need that.
exactly. We can't even comprehend how much money he has. Like we can't even understand it. Like like because the way they're throwing around money in this movie is just like, okay, and yeah, take this, take that, whatever. All our suitcases, whatever. Pocket change.
Yeah.
But so then we got to fast forward. So Akeem, Semi, the king, and the queen, they all make their way back home. And the queen and the king they just want Akeem to be happy. They have a little cut scene in the limo, and she reminds him like, hey, like he says it's part of the tradition that he marries someone that like we pick from, whatever. And she reminds him, hey, like, aren't you supposed to be the king? I mean, and he's like, okay, all right. So then we get Akeem goes to the wedding, and we get the surprise that the bride is Lisa. Roll credits. That's the movie. That's the movie.
I thought it was. I just wanted to mention.
Yeah.
In the taxi, like you said, they all congregate at the hotel before they head back to Zamunda, because Lisa turns him down. So he's sad, right? He's like, oh, yeah. Lisa doesn't want me. I lost this girl. And they're in the cab, and Semi says, hey, it's okay. Think of it this way. At least we learned how to make French fries.
Oh, yeah.
And then and he's just kind of like looking out the window. And I was like, bruh, at least we learn how to make French fries. Bro, get out of here. I just lost my girl. I don't care about French fries. Like, what? How is that supposed to cheer me up? Doesn't mean we're about to go back to Zamunda where I don't have to cook ever. Like, people just cook for me whatever I want. What the fuck does that matter? I just lost my girl. Fuck you.
Yeah, Semi's on a real one for that. No, that's funny. So,
was that? Did you know that ending was coming? Like, the Lisa would be there?
No, I didn't. Did you?
No.
I thought it was I didn't expect it either. I think they could have done a better lead in with the surprise going forward, because like as she was walking up, I just thought you saw a light-skinned girl. You couldn't see her face, but I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's Lisa. It wasn't like when they flipped the thing. They should have just showed her from behind the whole time and then flipped it. But it was behind, and then you saw her arms, and I'm like, okay, well, it's a light-skinned girl. I'm assuming it's probably Lisa. It's not the girl that we saw before, because we saw that she was dark skinned. So I was like, okay. But no, I didn't expect that at all. And it actually we'll get into this later. But
okay.
I have some opinions, but we got our we got our awards and we got our facts. So do you have any facts? We kind of said some facts as we went on through the movie, but do you have any more that you want to throw in there?
Yeah, I have a couple facts left. Yeah, we said a couple as we went through, but the one it's not even actually about this movie, but it's regarding Eddie Murphy. That Shrek 5 just got announced.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
For 2026, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz. So the whole trifecta will have Donkey, Shrek, and Fiona. So that's lit.
No, that is
how
lit.
that goes.
Did they put a year on it?
2026.
No? Oh, 2026. Okay, I didn't hear you say the
summer.
Year, but that was sick. Oh, that's sick. Damn, I heard there was rumors that they were gonna do a donkey movie, like they did a Puss in Boots movie. So I didn't know. I thought I was surprised when I saw the Shrek thing. That's sick.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I don't know like when it's supposed to be set. I don't even like what's Shrek 4. I don't even know if I've seen Shrek 4.
I've definitely seen them all, but I don't remember. Like I think I've
seen 2 and 3.
Out. Okay. Yeah, so we mentioned this earlier, how about Eddie, this was his first time playing multiple characters, but I actually saw they got the inspiration from Pete Sellers, who did the same thing in the Stanley Kubrick movie, Doctor Strangelove. But I never seen that movie, and like I didn't realize that he got inspiration from somewhere. I thought it was just something that he just thought would be funny, but that's one of the facts that I saw. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I always like that when I see artists or like actors, directors, whoever take inspiration from other people, and it becomes Eddie's like staple almost, right? Like he does this in a bunch of movies going forward. I mean, we mentioned that before, but yeah, it's cool that he got the idea. I wonder if he even fathomed doing that before, you know, like playing multiple characters in a movie, like a Tyler Perry kind of thing. You know, like he does that now, but like I wonder if before seeing that, if that thought even crossed his mind, or if he totally just got that idea, was like, oh, that's cool, I want to try that.
Yeah, no, it's honestly he's the person I think of when I think of someone doing that. And I always just think it's that's the Eddie thing. But now I guess Pete Sellers did it, and I gotta go. That's a movie I actually did want to see, so I definitely gotta check that out.
Maybe Pete Sellers wasn't the first person to do that either. Maybe he saw someone do it.
It's a good point. And another thing I wanted to add on to one of you said that he directed the director of the movie directed the Thriller music video, and I actually saw a fact. I should have said at the time that apparently that dance, when they're doing the dance, but like the queen to be as she's like coming in, apparently that was the same choreography, similar choreography to the Thriller dance, but just high tempo. So
I saw that too.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. I saw that in the research, and I was like, oh shit, I should go back and watch. Like, were they doing the arms up? Like, I don't even, what do you call it? The zombie arms or whatever? The classic Thriller, that part of the dance. Like, I didn't notice that. That might have been a little too on the nose, but I don't know.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, there's probably so much of the dance that they just kind of left out. Like, I'm sure they recorded a lot of it, and then as they were editing, like, hey, cut that part out, cut that part out, cut that out. But initially, maybe if you just watch the whole dance, you could be like, oh yeah, I see it. I definitely see it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I got one more.
Okay, I got one more
just
too. You throw yours.
Okay. So Eddie Murphy and John Landis, like, so Eddie and the director, they were kind of beefing throughout the shoot, and even after for a while, like they didn't get along, and that's one of the reasons why he didn't do Coming to America, like the sequel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And apparently a big reason for this was that Eddie Murphy said that in Trading Places, because that's John Landis directed him in Trading Places 5 years before. Eddie said, you know, I was a kid, but on this shoot, he was still treating me like a kid 5 years later, and I hired him for this movie.
Oh shit, yeah.
And this was right after John Landis was just in a whole bunch of trouble, and Eddie Murphy even said his career was hanging by a thread after the Twilight Zone. So he worked on because he worked on the Twilight Zone, but there was an accident on set and 3 people died.
Oh.
So there was like a lawsuit going through that, and he got in a lot of trouble, and the studio got in trouble, and so like people didn't want to hire him, right? So because he had all this. So Eddie was like, I gave him like a second chance, and so that's what they were kind of beefing, and they made up later because they worked on another movie after. But I thought that was cool or not cool, but I thought that was of note that Eddie was like, he was still treating me like a kid, and this is his movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. I never saw that. That's because I was like, how is it still holding on this long that he didn't want to even do a sequel like almost like 40 years later? But then if it was really that serious, and then like he wasn't treating him well, I guess so. But damn, that's why I didn't see that. I like that whole like 3 people died on set. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even know that was a thing either. But then when they were when I was reading, it said John Landis was, you know, coming off of the Twilight Zone trials. I was like, what the hell is that? And I clicked on it, and I was like, oh shit, damn, that's what happened. Okay, well, I guess that's why no one wanted to work for him or hire him.
One of the last fact that I had was it ties into like the success of the movie, which is they talked about how this movie was really successful like in Japan, and which is they're saying at the time, especially it's like it's not common for movies like black lead movies, and we even got that nowadays. Like even when Black Panther's really popular, people were worried like, oh, this is gonna be big like in Asia and stuff like that. But apparently this broke through and is really popular in Japan, which made me think. I'm like, what does it take? Like, is it Eddie is like a star? Is it just because Eddie's just the star, or is it just because is it the kind of like the messaging? Or is for some reason this kind of comedy just works? Like, I don't know. Is it the whole fish out of water thing? Like, I kind of wonder. Like, what do you think? Like, obviously, I know you don't have an answer, but just hearing that, like, what do you think about this movie that just translate outside of America? Like, you think see anything that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I feel like it would probably be kind of like you said, the fish out of water thing, like how he comes to America and doesn't know at all about their customs or how anything works or the people. But so I feel like maybe that's what it is, but maybe it's also just Eddie. Maybe he's bigger in Asia. Like, I don't know. Do you know how his other movies have done there? But
yeah, no, I don't
That's a
know.
good one. That's a good question.
Yeah, because I understand. Like, I almost feel like the Marvel, like the Black Panther thing, at the end of the day is kind of a cheat because really just Marvel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like it's its own beast. But like this movie is just a standalone. Like, it's not part of like this whole world or anything. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
how did this movie, for some reason, just? But yeah, maybe it is the fish out of water thing. A little bit of like the wealth thing, maybe too. Just yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There aren't even any Asian characters.
Yeah, it's mostly black.
Maybe it's Timothy DeLaGhetto.
yeah,
maybe it was him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know if he was. Well, no, he definitely was born, but
yeah, he's too. He gets the credit for bringing this overseas. That's probably it.
Okay, we'll shout him out. I mean, we just did shout him out. I'm gonna tag him.
Yeah, there you go.
But all right, so that's it for my facts. So let's take it away.
Filmies time.
Yeah, let's get into the filmies.
All right, let's do it. So again, if this is your first episode, what are you doing? Go back and listen to some of the first ones. But if this is your first episode, we're at the awards section of our show. So we're just going to go through one by one. We got fit check number 1. And like we mentioned, there's tons of crazy fits in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
So this could be, it can be the best fit in the movie, can be the worst fit in the movie. But based on this movie, I'm guessing it's a good one. So give me your fit check, Dion.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It was actually tough for me because there's a lot of great. Yeah. Not even like in the opening scene, that was the first thing I thought. It's funny you said that too. I was like, oh, this is gonna be tough. Like you're weeding through things, but like in the end, I still like my fit, but there was definitely it definitely is very like laxed compared to some of like the grandiose fits that are in this movie. But I'm still rocking with it because it's my fit. It's pretty early in the movie. It's I got the timestamp 1713. It's his fit at the wedding. So it seems pretty simple, but as we work our way up is when I really started to like the fit. So he just got some black dress shoes, which are regular. He got the high-waisted black dress pants, which were nice. And then we get this is where it gets really good. Waist up is where it goes kind of crazy. We got the white dress shirt with the white vest and the white bow tie, which I was like, okay, that's a good look. Exactly. And we get the brooch. Like the brooch is like under his tie. And like at first I thought it was like the flag of the country, but I think it's more so like a coat of arms or something. I can't really tell what it was. I tried to get like really close up, but it just gets blurry and blurry as they kind of zoom and stuff. But it was looking good. He was iced out. He got like a ring on, like a gold ring with like a blue diamond. I noticed that when he put his finger up. And then he's even got like a gold ring like in his single braid that he has in the back of his hair. He didn't have that throughout the rest of the movie, but just for the wedding, he had to put a little something on there. I'm sure that shit cost more than a house, but
yeah.
And then even his hat, like his little black beanie he had on, it was all iced out too. Had a bunch of diamonds on it. Again, like you're just assuming the most with this fit because he's a prince. That shit probably cost like $2 million or something. Like that was everything. Every diamond there was taken from different parts of Africa. Like they,
like they killed a man for each one of those diamonds.
Yeah, exactly. And then the biggest flex to me was the leather skin hanging, like the leather leopard skin hanging over his shoulder. It's like had its mouth, and I guess it was like biting its own tail, and it was you're just rocking it. And it's like, his pops goes harder later on in the movie when he has the whole lion.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that was my fit check. Eddie was looking fresh in that. Again, there's a lot of crazy fits in that, but I gotta go with Eddie at the wedding. What about you?
That's a super crazy fit. So crazy that it's my fit too.
Oh shit, are you serious?
In a dope ass movie with tons of fits, that was mine too. Like I was literally, because it was yours, I'll give my honorary mention to his dad. Like you said. So when they pull up to the McDowell's house, well, it's pretty much his whole time in New York.
Yeah, true.
He's got on a suit too, but it's more like a tan suit, and Yeah, the skin that's over his shoulder is a whole ass lion. So
That's
it's like a sash that
crazy.
goes like it almost touches the ground like
Yeah.
as it goes over his shoulder. It's fucking sick.
Yeah.
But his dad's fit was super fucking crazy. But the reason, I was like, should I make this my fit, like, or should I stick with what I got? And the reason I stuck with it, and you chose it too. Well, I don't know if this is the reason you chose it, but I like the contrast. Like his dad's, like I said, it's a tan fit and the lion skin, so it's a similar color. Whereas his fit, he's got the black suit, the white shirt, and then the leopard skin over the black, like the yellowish orangey of the leopard skin on the black suit. Super dope.
Oh, it's fresh. That's crazy. We had the same fit. As we were saying in this movie, it's filled with so many crazy fits. Like you could have just like paused the movie and just like pick one of the guests or something. Easily we could have done 100%. That. But the chance that we both picked it, that same fit, that's actually wild.
Hey, that's a unanimous fit check.
Unanimous. Was, it's like a unanimous MVP. He's the first.
Exactly.
I don't know if he is
maybe
the first.
Maybe we'll get our first unanimous fit.
Yeah, is this our first?
It might be.
Maybe.
And for a movie like this, no, we had in Inception, we both had Eames.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I mean, if a fit's like if we both get the fit, it's just it is what it is.
Then you earned it. I feel like that with any award.
No, that's true.
If we both give this person or this part of the movie or whatever the award, then it's certified.
Certified unanimous. All right,
boom. Certified fit check.
We're gonna have to make a board up with this. I'm gonna have to edit up a board, all the unanimous of anything. If we get unanimous anything, 6 Man's, Ferris Bueller's, whatever, they're going up.
That's what I'm saying. Certified. The stamp.
100%.
All right. Speaking of Naz Reid, 6 Man, let's go to that next. So this is someone in a minor role. They has a minor role in the movie, so they're coming off the bench, but they showed out in their minor role. So who's your 6 Man?
I'm afraid we might. I mean, I'm not afraid, but I think we might have the same one too.
Imagine we get a certified one for each one.
That'd be wild. I got Reverend Brown as my 6 Man.
No, he's not mine.
Okay, good. I mean, I think he works because he's not in the movie that much. He's only maybe like 2 scenes. Okay, yeah. Definitely. So yeah, there's a God somewhere has been stuck in my head. There's a God somewhere. There's a God. Yeah, it's all the little breaths in between too. It's just,
can I get an amen?
Yeah.
The little breaths is perfect.
There was even a line I purposely didn't say because I wanted to reference it too. Is like when they were at the wedding too, and when Lisa finds out that she's married to Daryl now, and he was just like. He's like, you got to hold on to God's hands. He helped Daniel get out of the lion's den. He helped Gilligan get off the island. Lord.
Well done. Yeah, you're killing it.
Oh, thank you. I've been practicing that because I knew I had to show up. Oh, man.
That's a great 6 Man. Oh, that's a great 6 Man.
Crack me up, man.
He's not in the movie a lot. But when he's on screen, he demands the attention.
Oh yeah, he does.
He's getting double teamed because he demands the attention, and that's the purest essence of 6 Man.
Easy 6
Great
man.
Choice.
Easy 6 Man. He kind of has an Uncle Ruckus thing going on with his voice too. A little bit.
Okay, yeah. A little bit of raspiness. Yeah. I see that.
But who is your 6 Man?
Yeah, my 6 Man. Like I said, I love yours, so I don't know if mine can necessarily compete. Mine goes to Oha.
Oh, okay.
So this is like he's kind of like the right hand man, I guess, to the king. Like we have Semi, that's the right hand man to Akeem, and then Oha is kind of like he kind of just does like his assistant, basically, I guess.
Yeah.
But really, it's mostly for, like I said, at the engagement or the wedding at the beginning of the movie when he starts busting the pipes out and he starts singing, like everything's totally quiet and she's walking up and he's saying the queen to
okay
and he's just you were showing out. I don't know if I quite hit the high note correctly, but I might have broke my mic, but
you got it.
But he was killing it, man. Like the echo in the chapel or whatever was dope. Everyone was quiet and he was murking this solo. And then just a little other note that at the end, at the second wedding, I guess, like when he's marrying Lisa, she walks up and he opens up the veil and he sees it as Lisa, and he's like, "Oh snap!" And he kisses her right away, and Oha is just like whispering to her like, "My liege, we're not at that part yet.
Yeah,
You have to wait." But yeah, I just thought he was funny, and just that song at the beginning, I was like, okay, yeah, he's killing it.
No, he was good. I'm not mad at that one. That's just as good as the Reverend, bro. He had his moments and he bodied in them, That
Exactly.
that singing shit was hilarious.
Yeah,
I like that one. I like that 6-man.
All right. So no stamp on the 6-man, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What's your Ferris Bueller lazy award? So this can go to a person or a part of the movie, or someone who works behind the scenes for just being lazy. So yeah, who gets your Ferris Bueller award?
Okay, so this is actually kind of where we actually kind of thought of the Ferris, because the Ferris Bueller has been, we kind of loosely jump around, but this is actually kind of like the premise of why we wanted to create this award. And to me, it's a little bit of it's the reveal of Lisa being the bride, to be honest. And like, again, this didn't ruin the movie for me or anything. Like, I still love this more. I think it's still funny. It's just because like we just went from that dramatic scene of her like turning him down, and it's like, oh, I can't do it, whatever it is. And like then we never got a scene of like the dad like talking to her and like reassuring him, or being like, or even when it happens, when she pops up the thing, she's like, Akeem, your dad said, or like, I'm sorry about before. It just like, we act like the shit never happened. And it's like she went missing and now she's found. It's like, what, Lisa, you're here. And then they just get married, and like, you would give this up for me? Nah. And then boom, it's just, I'm like, what? Again, yeah, it's a comedy, but it was just so abrupt to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. Like, they should have, because you're right. Like, the last time we saw Lisa, she was like, no, I can't do it. Yeah. And they never explained to us why she then changed her mind. Yeah. She obviously, I mean, the only thing I will say is that we see, because Akeem looks at his dad and he kind of like smiles and nods. So I'm guessing like he went and apologized, but they never showed us that.
Yeah.
And so you're right. They left that scene out.
And it's okay that they left that scene out, but then she could have been like, your dad talked to me. That's all. That's it. Or just like, I'm sorry about before. Nothing. No, they haven't seen each other since. And it's just like smiles, kiss, and then that's it. It's just like, to me, it was just like, okay. Just like acknowledge like that whole thing didn't happen. And it was like, again, it didn't ruin the movie for me, but to me, I was kind of like, okay, that's like did something get cut? They're like, let's cut that scene out. And then they're like, I don't think it will matter that much. That's what it felt like. Like they just cut a scene out or something.
That's funny. I like that. That's a good lazy. I didn't even think of that, but you're right. Like the last time we saw her, she was like, she said no. So what happened that she changed her mind? You're right. You're right. It doesn't ruin the movie, but it's lazy.
Yeah,
and that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
All right, nice Nasri. Or sorry, that's Ferris Bueller. Nice Ferris Bueller award. Yeah. So my Ferris Bueller award goes to a character. It goes to Mr. McDowell.
Okay.
For one, just stealing all the shit from McDonald's. Like he even says, like, as he's explaining, because like you said, Akeem and Semi show up to try and get a job. And so he's explaining to them like the ropes of the restaurant. And there's the guy taking pictures, right? And he's like, oh, get out of here, get out of here. I'm in this legal trouble with McDonald's. They say I stole shit from them, but they have the golden arches. I have the gold arcs. They have the Big Mac. I have the Big Mick. And he's like, and on their Big Mac, has lettuce, tomato, pickles, blah, blah, blah. But it has sesame seeds on the bun. My bun has no seeds. And I'm like, bruh, this is, come on. Like, dude, this is lazy as fuck. You're literally taking all of their shit and changing the tiniest thing or nothing. Like the arches is basically the same thing. You just change the name of it. Big Mick? Come on, dog. And then also the reading of the manual, like that thing, that killed me. But I was like, bro, you're not even trying anymore. Like that's lazy as fuck. And then the last thing that honestly really got it for me was when Samuel Jackson, like when he robs the place and then Akeem stops him and Mr. McDowell comes out, he congratulates, he thanks him for stopping him. He's like, man, we've been hit by that guy 5 times. Yeah. What? Are you kidding? What? You had the same dude rob you 5 times. How the fuck do you let that happen? Like, you don't call the police. As soon as you see that guy walk in, you don't just like tackle him or something? Like what? 5 times? Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that was wild. I almost forgot about that part. Yeah, there's a slight little thing. He's like, yeah, they got 5 times. And Keem didn't react to it, but it was just like 5 times. Yeah, that's wild.
So he gets my lazy where like all of this is just like it's lazy. Like, dude, like there's nothing else to it. It's negligence. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, he still built an empire.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Okay, so best quote. This is self-explanatory. What's your favorite quote?
All right. Well, it's very simple. It's very quick. It's just when he's going out and he says, "Good morning, my neighbors," and the guy says, "Hey, fuck you." And my favorite quote is when he said, "Yes, fuck you too." That killed me. That was. I feel like I've heard that in like in a meme or something before. Like, but that was good. That's my favorite quote. Yes, fuck you too. That's my quote.
Big ass smile on his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah. But wouldn't he have? He learned just the day before what a dumb fuck means.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, Akeem.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that was funny. I like that.
Yeah. So what were
you? My quote goes to the landlord.
Okay.
And it's kind of just before this. So when Akeem and Semi first arrive in New York, and they meet the landlord, and he's like, "Oh, I want a room," and he's like, "Oh, you actually have money?" He's like, "Yes, I have lots of money." He's like, "All right." So he brings him into the building, and as he brings him up to the room, there's the guy that falls down the stairs, and he's like, "Hey, man, no, you owe me rent. You know that, right?" And then here's the quote: "And don't pull that falling down the stairs shit on me. You're conscious." Like he's like, no, don't pull that shit. You're conscious. I know you're awake. Like this guy falls down the stairs and like knocks himself out, or like he's pretending like we see him open his eyes, but he's just like, nah, don't put that shit on me. You're conscious. The "you're conscious" killed me. I thought that was hilarious.
No, that is good. And I was waiting for the eyes open too. I was like, damn, this guy he knows all the hustles, but he's been through this shit for too long.
Don't pull that shit on me.
I was like, I know that one. I've done that one.
Exactly. Yeah. I taught you that shit, man. Don't pull that shit on me. You're conscious. Get out of here.
No, that's a good one.
Could you imagine like trying to dodge rent by just yeeting yourself down the stairs? Oh shit! There's my landlord.
Yes. Yeah, you freaking break your wrist for nothing.
That's funny.
That's good. I like that.
Okay. Second last. Sorry. Your best scene. What's the best scene? Again, self-explanatory.
Okay, I mean, I kind of I already spoke about it earlier, but my favorite scene was when Daryl goes. This is a very small scene, but it just made me laugh just because when Daryl goes to Patrice's room when he's all wet, and he's like, "Yeah, Lisa dumped me," and then she says, "Yeah, first let's get off these wet clothes," and him just staring at the camera. Because the only reason I gave it to him because I hated Daryl as I should, because like I said, he's the perfect antagonist, but that scene of him turning to the camera when after he say that just like redeemed it all for me. And I was like, this is a real one. That shit's hilarious. Yeah, he's just hilarious. And that shit killed me. And I was like, all right, that's my scene. The fact that it just redeemed in that moment, all the hate left. I forgot all about the stupid shit he did. And I was like, that's hilarious.
Then that's deserving of a best scene. Then if it's the best character scene. He redeems himself, I respect that.
Yeah, that was his arc. The full arc was
okay. Yeah. I like it.
A fourth wall break is all it took.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was that one. There was one at the beginning, like we said, when she was barking like a dog.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was funny. My best scene is kind of a longer one, and it's kind of a mix of a few, I suppose. But
it's fine. Doesn't matter.
It's when Akeem brings Lisa home. So when they were at the museum, and then they leave, and then he brings her to the house, and it's honestly because Mr. McDowell is just going nuts, like pulling out all the stops, trying to get Akeem to be with Lisa, because he just found out that Akeem's a prince and rich as fuck. He's like, no, sit down. He's like, no, sir, I'm sorry, but I must leave. He's like, no, you can sit down for a few minutes. And then he goes, he kicks Daryl out. He slams the door in his face. He grabs like these little, I don't know what they are. They're like spring rolls or something, like some food he was gonna feed him. And then I also like the scene a lot because it's when the rest of the royal family pulls up to the house as well. So we see
Yeah.
everybody in the same
True.
house, and we see the king flexing on him. He even pulls out a checkbook. He's just gonna pay him off. The queen even starts talking shit to the king. You know, she's like,
true.
she's like, no, he's gonna find someone for love. You know, allow him to do this. But the whole interaction between both families and everybody all in the same place was why it was my favorite scene.
Okay, no, I like that. That's a good scene. I like that one.
Yeah, it was funny.
No, that was I like Mr. Dowell too, like all suckering up. Like I was saying, this guy just switched on a dime, all quick. Now he's all trying to be buddy. I was like, look at this guy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Shameless.
He was killing me.
Shameless.
Totally shameless. With that hairline at the back of his head. Like he someone with that haircut has no shame.
Oh, yeah, clearly. Yeah. And like you said, that's freaking just looking at McDonald's operations. He has no shame.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, fact. Zero shame. That brings us to our final award, the MVP, the most valuable player, the whoever stood out to you most in the movie. Who gets that for you?
All right, so my MVP goes to Eddie Murphy, and to me, it's just like I've mentioned this with Will, and again, I'll go with it. I'll do this. Sorry, I'll go do the same thing with Eddie, where I'm always pressed with someone who starts off as something else and then moves into like doing something completely different. Like he was like a comedian, and the fact that like I mean, obviously as a comedian, like you write your own jokes and stuff like that. And so you can kind of think of scenarios and you kind of create these stories. Like you have your own stories that you're telling, but then you kind of build off them to make it into a funny joke. But for him, like he wrote the story. Like he didn't write the screenplay because he wrote the story and then he got someone else to turn it into a screenplay. But like he's done that with so many movies, and to me that's just so impressive. And then also him in the movie too, because a lot of times you'll get comedians and comedians will be in a movie. It's like, oh, this guy's funny, and he'll be like maybe like the comedic relief in the movie. He's starring in these movies that he's writing, and he's like he's embodying them. Yeah, exactly, and actually performing them well. Like it's. Not every comedian can do that, and I just always get impressed by that. Again, yeah, Kevin Hart's a really good example of that too, and so I just give him for that.
Yeah, his movies
suck. He's already on his sixth.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's movies are trash.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, the ones that he's like the sides and sometimes can be funny, but yeah, if it's like a lead, they're usually he's just trying to. People always make jokes on him, like where it's just like, oh, Kevin never turns down a movie. I mean, I think he should turn some down. It's like I feel like he knows. It's like a running joke. But it's crazy though at Eddie though. Like at this point, he's already on like maybe like his sixth movie. He's only like 27 years old, and this guy's a comedian. It's like it's crazy. I'm not saying all those movies were bangers, but to me, it's just impressive that he's struck gold so many times with having movies that are just like so popular and being able to be successful. It's not like these there's a lot of like little niche comedy movies that's like, oh, did you hear that this person made a movie? Like, oh, I didn't even know that. Let me go check it out. Like his movies aren't that. His movies are like, oh, Eddie Murphy's in a movie, and it's like people know about him.
Yeah, it's a good point. And like you said, this is his movie. He wrote it. He's starring in it. So I can't be mad at your MVP decision at all, because really that's what an MVP does, right? Like, he's the most valuable. Without him, the movie wouldn't exist. So he is the MVP. But I went a different way.
Oh, good.
And I gave my MVP to John Amos, who is the actor who plays Mr. McDowell. Okay. So I've been talking through the whole time how he just kills me. He's hilarious throughout this whole movie. Like when he flips this on a dime a couple times, right? Like when he's all about Daryl, then he finds out Akeem's rich. Boom, he's all for Akeem. And then when his dad starts talking shit about Lisa, he's like, "Nah, fuck you. That's my daughter. Nah, I'm not having that." And the whole McDonald's, like I gave him my lazy award, but it was hilarious. Like that's why he gets my MVP. Like he's just every time he's on screen, I'm laughing. And I also thought he even did well that he even shows compassion and love for Lisa, like in those scenes where, I mean, like I said, when he's defending her, but also when there's a few moments when they're kind of one-on-one and he's explaining, why he wanted her to be with Daryl and then why he wanted her to be with Akeem. And in those instances, like he's actually showing like some compassion and love. He's not just funny. Like he's also showing me some of that for his daughter. And I don't know. I just liked him a lot, and he gets my MVP.
That was a great MVP. I agree with all those points that you said. Like he was like you said, he was hilarious in the movie, and he was in enough scenes that obviously he's all over the movie. And yeah, no, and like you said, it's the array of emotions too. He showed he could have those serious moments and then have those funny moments in different ways too. And it was just it was a good. That's a good choice. I like that MVP.
Appreciate it. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us then. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, social media as well at the Film Room Pod. Leave us a review, like we always say, and 5 stars. All that fun stuff.
And most importantly, remember. Most importantly, you can be all the things you want to be. Just
we got a bar.
Glow.
I didn't know you had a bar, bro.
I had a bar, yo. I had to throw it in there. All right, peace out.
You should have let me know.